So, goods and service tax. What is this goods and service tax? This is a form of indirect tax. What do you mean by indirect tax? You know that the two types of taxes, that is direct tax and indirect tax. In the direct tax, the tax is deducted at the source itself, means from the government itself it is taken. For example, salaried employee, his tax is directly given to the government. But if you go to purchase a biscuit packet, so you are paying tax, but the shopkeeper is collecting the tax and he is transferring that to the government. Correct? So, goods and service tax is a type of indirect tax because we are not paying directly to the government. Actually, we are paying to the restaurant owner, the shop owner, or the faculty, means whoever you are taking service or goods from them. Okay. So, what made the GST concept, that is one nation, one tax, one market? Earlier, what was the scenario is like too many taxes were there, so different states were having different tax. For example, if somebody wants to purchase a car, so he will prefer some other state to purchase that car so that he'll get benefit of low tax there. So this makes a lot of difficulties in the economy, unnecessary expenditure on the transportation because he's purchasing from outside, and immediate buying will not be there because he has to plan to take from there. So if there is common tax across India, so single tax across India, instead of like excise duty, custom duty, or VAT, value added tax, so many taxes. So to purchase this pen, I have to give so many taxes at different stages. Instead of that, simple concept, only one tax. So throughout the nation, there is one nation, one tax, one market. Correct? And we also know that there are different concepts like progressive taxation and regressive taxation. That is, if you are taxing more and more on the rich, then it is called as progressive taxation. That is, if you are having 5 lakh, pay 5%, 10 lakh, 10%, okay, the 20 lakh, 30%. So the more rich you are, paying more tax. That is progressive taxation. And irrespective of his income, you are paying tax, right? That is, the poorer you are paying more tax. That is regressive taxation. So in the regressive taxation, irrespective of his economical status, he has to pay the tax. Correct? So that is regressive taxation. And GST is one such tax, that is it comes under regressive taxation. That is, even the poor is also paying the same tax and the rich is also paying the same tax, whether it is Ambani or a common person, right? So both have to pay the same taxes. So single comprehensive indirect tax. So it is combining all the taxes, and making, there is a single comprehensive indirect tax, only one tax. So operation from 1st July 2017, okay, on supply of goods and services. So for goods also GST is there, for services also GST is there. Okay, so right from the manufacturer or service provider to the consumer, correct? So ultimately, who is bearing this GST? Consumer. Destination based consumption tax with the facility of input tax credit in the supply chain. So let us understand this. See what happens. I am for example, a tea shop owner is purchasing tea powder. So for that he is paying GST, correct? And now you are consuming tea from him. You are paying GST to this person. So here on the same tea, GST is paid here also, GST is paid here also. So what they will make, okay, for example, he has paid 1 rupee GST here. Government will allow them to file ITC, input tax credit. What do you mean by input tax credit? So multiple times the tax should not be paid. So this 1 rupees will be refunded back to this person, okay, because he is collecting tax here. That means this tax is going to government directly, means that person is paying. So this doubling of that GST is not counted here, means that is ITC, input tax credit, because he is using this tea powder as an input for his business. For that, no tax because the end consumer is paying for that here. So that is given back. Suppose this person is consuming directly, that is the tea powder in his home, then he has paid his GST as an end consumer. Then ITC, he cannot apply for ITC because he is not selling again. Correct? He is not a business person. So whatever GST is paid, it will go to government. It will not come back. So ultimately, one person is paying the tax. That is the concept here. That is, consumer is paying the tax. So destination based consumption, that's what. Ultimate, who is the consumer? He has to pay. In between, whoever is paying, their money is refunded back through input tax credit in the supply chain. Then it is applicable throughout the country with one rate for one type of goods and service. Yes, whatever it is, whether you go for AC restaurant in Madhya Pradesh or Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, still 18% tax will be there. Or say if some product is purchased here in Karnataka, 5% means if it is in Madhya Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh also, it is 5%. So throughout the country it is applicable one rate for one type of goods or service. So we know that different slab rates are there. For example, 5%, 18%, 12%, 28%, and 0% that is exempted goods. Okay, so like for example, natural flour, wheat flour, or jowar flour, or whatever you directly produce, for that no GST. If the same wheat flour is coming as the Ashirwad Atta, then GST will be there, manufacturing goods. Okay, and for sin goods or luxury goods, to discourage that, so they are collecting more and more tax. Means not, I can say, discouraging. For some things discouragement is there. For some things, yes, because they are rich, let them pay more because they are purchasing so SUV cars, like luxury cars and all, so let them pay like this. For different goods, so every like GST council will be there. It is revising the things, so which tax rate is applicable to whom. So different slab rates. So I said that some things are not taxed, that is 0% GST, but some things are outside the purview of the GST, like petrol, like liquor. So on these products, GST is not put. On petrol or liquor, actually, it is better to bring them under GST. But what is the thing is, so the petrol, the tax on petrol or liquor is more than this 28%. It will come around totally if you take around 50% and all, and it is a huge source of revenue for the government. So actually, these two things are kept out of this GST component. Other, and for all other things, all other taxes are subsumed, like excise duty and no excise duty or custom duty. For everything is subsumed and made as GST. But only for this petrol and liquor, still that excise duty or custom duty is still put on that. Okay, so if you see how the question is being asked, what are the likely advantages of implementing GST? It will replace multiple taxes, correct? Only one tax now. Collected by multiple authorities. Earlier it was collected by multiple authorities. Now only one, and will thus create single market in India. Correct. So this is correct. Multiple taxes, multiple authorities avoided. Single tax. Consumer is paying. It will drastically reduce the current account deficit of India and will enable increase its foreign exchange reserves. Sorry. How can I say this? How current account deficit is increasing because of GST? You are not improving export or something. Just because of GST, you cannot say that export will be boosted. So I cannot say that current account deficit will be drastically reduced. It will enormously increase the growth and size of the economy of India and will enable to overtake China in the near future. How can you say that just by indirect tax, the tax collection method is simplified, it can overtake China? This is an extreme statement. So don't go for it. So that is one only. Okay, so there are many, you need to go through the current affairs, how the GST is performing, how the GST council is performing, how they are reviewing, what type of goods comes under what bracket. Okay, so what are the different concepts? It's not just about input tax credit. There is also concept like e-way bill. So because of this GST, now the transportation become easy. Earlier you might have seen the check posts. Correct. In the check post, they used to check whether you are having a license or not to carry the goods. So whether you have paid the required amount to the state government or not. So a lot of time was wasted in the check post. Now that is not the concept. So if you want to transport from state to state, you generate automatically the bill, e-way bill. Okay, so I am transporting so and so much amount of goods, so and I am sending to other state. So in between somewhere ask, if you show the T bill, that is enough. Okay, so no delay in the transportation, no check post concept. So there are so many benefits because of GST. You might be seeing every month the GST collection is keep on rising. Okay, that means the government revenue sources keep on increasing. That is the meaning of that, right? So focus on the taxation concepts and the FRBM concept to how to reduce the expenditure of the government. Okay, so please revise the things after understanding the concept. So revise, revise, revise. That is the key mantra. That is the key for success. Thank you.